Hey, what's up? This is Brandon Simmons for BrandonSimmons.biz, and this is my weekly video blog called Bullheaded, a review of the Houston Texans news as well as a preview of their upcoming game matchups. So, this week, the Texans will be going on the road to face the Tennessee Titans after coming off an exciting come from behind win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, I'm going to get into all of what they need to do to get a W over the Titans since they're going to be kind of facing the same circumstances that they were facing heading into the Jaguars game. But first, let me just go ahead and do a recap of this Jaguars game. That seems like it's the buzzword at the intro. So, Texans beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 29-36 in a game that was, like I said, won a huge come from behind victory for the Houston Texans. I believe it might have been the second biggest comeback win for the Texans in franchise history. And it was definitely a game hard fought uh, throughout throughout the whole thing. And so this isn't the first time that the Texans have had such a game like this. Hell, they had it actually against Jacksonville the first time that they played them. The Texans being down throughout like three quarters and then showing up in the fourth quarter to actually show some real heart, some real effort. The thing that was kind of different about this game, number one, there was no C.J. Stroud. Jalen Pitre was out as well, in addition to Kaimi Fairbairn. Stroud and Pitre specifically out due to being a concussion protocol, and so Davis Mills had to, really step into that starting role for this game, and it was looking funny, through three quarters. You know what I'm saying? Jaguars actually jumped out to a 20-3 lead, and then Woody Marks runs in for a touchdown to make it 20-10. But that was the only highlight for the Texans throughout the three quarters. Fourth quarter comes around, it's a totally different story. Um, Heading to the fourth quarter, Texans are down 29-10, and then Mills he leads the drive. That was super long. I believe it was like 13 plays or something, and that started from the end of the from towards the end of the third all the way into the fourth. And so he throws a touchdown to Jaden Higgins that cuts the lead to 29-19. After that, um, the Jaguars defense forces a three and out. Mills comes back. He throws another touchdown to Dalton Schultz. That cuts the lead 29-24. So things get a little bit interesting. And so then defense forces another three out or whatever. And excuse me, they force another three and out. And then Texans get the ball back, lead another long drive. And this time Mills runs in for the quote unquote game winning touchdown that goes up 30-29. Where the 36 comes from is when Sheldon Rankins actually runs back at a pick six at the end of the game. As time expires, so they awarded him the touchdown. Didn't have to do the extra point or whatever. So that's what made it 36-29. So basically, I mean, this team they fought all the way until the end of this game. They've had plenty of miscues throughout this game, but especially through those three quarters. But when it was all said and done, it seems like they just had this Jaguars team setting their sights in this fourth quarter, and then they made their move and just kind of finished them off in that manner. A couple big games from Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. Thought I had it open. Yeah, Schultz and Collins both had big games in this. Um, Schultz with 7 catches for 53 yards. Um, Collins actually has 7 catches for 136 yards. It's actually his second um, 100-yard game against the Jaguars this year. So, big effective games for both of those guys. Woody Marks, he has 63 yards rushing in this game, and in addition to the touchdown at the end of the first half. But we got to talk about the big dog, but Danielle Hunter, who I believe was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week this week. Um, Danielle Hunter, I guess they tallied it at 3.5, 4 sacks, this week. But yeah, huge game from him. Yeah, 3.5, but huge game from him. Um, and, I'll say this. He look, if it wasn't for some of the plays that he made, this probably is a different outcome for this game. He had 2 sacks in the first half, but also he had 2 sacks in the fourth quarter. 1 sack he had the first 3 and out for the Jaguars. He got that sack on third down. And then he got another sack when the Jaguars were trying to score. So, I mean, credit to Danielle Hunter for really just kind of helping bring that pressure and getting to the quarterback and just kind of ending these drives and stopping a lot of the scoring opportunities for Jacksonville. Without his play in the game, like I said, this is probably a totally different outcome. Uh, that we're talking about today with this team. So kudos to Danielle Hunter. Kudos to this whole Texans defense, this offense, the team as a whole. Really, they really fought their way to the end and they closed it out as they should. So big ups to this Texans team for pulling off that historic win. Injuries, man. So, C.J. Stroud ruled out for another game, along with Jalen Pitre and Kaimi Fairbairn. Um, so, a lot of conversations was coming about regarding C.J. Stroud and really C.J. Stroud and his injury. And, because this week, the Texans, they're playing the Titans, but following this Titans game, they had the Buffalo Bills on Thursday night. So it's it's a crazy turnaround of opponents on such short notice. Um, so yeah, a lot of concerns about if CJ's healthy, do they start him or do they play him or whatever. So now he's officially been ruled out. So that conversation, kind of died down, and it's also kind of brought up the other conversation about whether or not uh, whether or not Davis Mills should be the starter once CJ's healthy. But that's a whole other thing that I don't think warrants any attention right now. It's just one game. I really want to see what he does in this next game, and I'll get into all that. But yeah, Stroud is going to be out this particular game along with Jalen Pitre and Kaimi Fairbairn. So similar circumstances to last week's game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Only difference is the level of opponent that they'll be facing, which is the Tennessee Titans, and that really doesn't mean too much. There's still go by the rules, like hey, still a professional team, blah blah blah, all that good stuff. But yeah, so anyway, um, Cade Stover, tight end Cade Stover might make a return for this season. Injured his foot, I believe last year or whatever, but he is coming back. This he was listed as questionable on the injury report for this week. So, and he was seen at practice as well. So, if not this week, it looks like he'll probably be making an appearance really soon. So, with that being said, it's time to get into the game preview. And well, so interesting game preview for this week. So, Texans will be going on the road facing the Tennessee Titans in a game that it's like I just said, it's pretty much similar circumstances going into the Jacksonville game. So with the Jacksonville game, Texans were had C.J. Stroud hurt, Jalen Pitre was hurt. I believe Ed Ingram and Titus Howard were hurt as well. So they were down a lot of pieces in this game. The and this I didn't check the report to see if Howard and Ingram were back on it or if they were going to be available for this game. Looked like they were going to be available. I let's see. Yeah, I don't see him on here. Shows him as full participants, but so it looks like Howard and Ingram are going to be actually Ingram is questionable, but and for the very least, it looks like they're trending in the direction to actually um, be available for this game. So we'll see how that goes. But right now, the Texans are going to be taking their talents on the road to face the Tennessee Titans. And so, if you remember back in Week 4, the Texans got their first win of the year over the Tennessee Titans and a dominating shutout win for the Houston Texans. Um, and since then, things have not turned around for the Tennessee Titans like at all. Like I believe a week later or so, a week or two later, they fired their coach. Um, as far as they drafted Ken Ward #1 overall. As far as that goes, he's been sacked 5 and 6 times consecutively consecutively in the last 2 games. Um, it's just been a mess over there at Tennessee, and so um, things are just not great. And so really that kind of with the way things are in Tennessee, that kind of brought up the issue, that kind of brought up the conversation about should Stroud even play in this game, considering that, Buffalo's right around the corner and it's a short week and all the other stuff. So that is what that's about. So the Texans have to go on the road, face a Tennessee Titans team, a division rival, mind you, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. So, and they're going to be doing it without Stroud, with Davis Mills again at the helm. So here's a couple of things that the Texans can really do to pull a W off. Number one, and this probably should just be the only thing, but number one, because it's pretty much the big thing, they have to focus on the game in front of them. So as I mentioned, Buffalo is coming up on Thursday night football. So it's going to be a big national audience. It's going to be a huge opponent in the Buffalo Bills, who's in the running to be the #1 seed um, in this #1 seed in the AFC, looking to get home field playoff advantage or whatever. Um, so it's easy to kind of just be like, what's over there? You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at what's in front of you. So it's going to be very important that the Texans focus on this Tennessee Titans game that's in front of them. Uh, as a division for a divisional game, this is this has trap game written all over it, like straight up. There's there's no way around it. This is a team that look, this is a team that things are not going great for them. So usually, as the season winds down or gets longer, or whatever, teams, teams that are in the position that the Tennessee Titans are in, they're gonna look for everything, any type of game to hang their hat on. If they can muster up enough strength and effort to beat a division rival and ruin their playoff chances, you can bet that they're going to show up for that. So it's very important that the Texans show up for this Tennessee Titans team. They and by doing that, they need to manage the emotions from the previous game. That's a start. That's definitely a start. That was a coming winning a you know a comeback victory like that, especially with the way it ended in those final moments, that can, what I'm saying, that could send a jolt of energy through a team for like at least a week or so. But they gotta, start to come down off of that buzz and, what I'm saying, just really focus on this Tennessee team that's looking to play spoiler already at 1-8. So definitely manage the emotions from the previous game and just focus on this Tennessee game in front of them. Number two, expand the running game. They had 130 yards rushing in the last game. 63 of those yards went to Woody Marks. Let's try to get Marks the ball a little bit more. What I'm saying? Kind of get him into a rhythm. What I'm saying? Where he's actually becoming an effective runner, an effective weapon on the ground. And, what I'm saying? Wherever you can, find spaces for Nick Chubb as well. What I'm saying? To get him the ball. I think that's going to be very, very important going down the line, especially if you're talking about trying to win playoff games, because a lot of these games that you plan on winning, that you plan on winning to get into the postseason, you're more than likely going to have to close them out. So it's best that we get the running backs going and finding a rhythm, especially when it's a little bit past the mid-season already and getting closer to the end of it. So this is the perfect time to really just get into a rhythm with these running backs and get this run game going. So, like I said and promised you, that was pretty much all I got. So, you know, pretty much what the Texans need to do is just focus on this Tennessee Titans team in front of them. Don't worry about Thursday night. Don't worry about Buffalo. Focus on, you know what I'm saying, the opponent in front of them. Focus on keeping players healthy and then, you know, affording the opportunity for when the the starters actually come back into the fold, affording the opportunity to actually have them fight for something when they get back in. And that's going to start with managing the emotions from the previous game, from that comeback victory. Just kind of, taking it in, deep breath, letting it go, and moving on to the next thing. Number two, expand the running game. A buck 30 in the last game against the Jaguars. Let's continue. Let's expand on that. Start with getting Woody Marks the ball a little bit more, and um, just really kind of use this running game to just control the clock and more so protect Davis Mills because. Yeah, he played a great game last week. 292 yards, 2 touchdowns, but definitely want to take the pressure off of him. And if we get enough rhythm going with this, it'll definitely take the pressure off of C.J. Stroud when he comes back into the lineup. So that's all I got for y'all this week. If you're watching this on Facebook, facebook.com/BrandonBlog, like my page, like this video, share this video with your people, send it a messenger. I don't care. Just put it with somebody else. Share this content. If you're watching us on YouTube, like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video as well wherever you may. So, with that being said, I'm Brandon Simmons from BrandonSimmons.biz. Holla black.